The other really fun thing that we did this week is maternity photos. Well, if I can't do X, Y, and Z, then I might as well not do anything, because like, woe is me. So I definitely know that I can fall into that tendency sometimes. There are still things that I can try and do to remember and enjoy this season, even though it's been really rough. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. I'm an expecting first-time mom due with our baby boy at the end of May, and today I'm sharing my 36-week pregnancy update. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. I've been sharing my whole pregnancy journey here on YouTube, and will soon be sharing our journey of becoming parents. A baby's going to be here in a month, which is insane. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned so you don't miss any new videos. So like I said, I've been sharing weekly updates here on YouTube, and so I've gone through the same sort of structure for all of these videos of sharing how big the baby is, symptoms I've experienced, baby prep that's happened, and also give you a look at that bump shot. So first off, let's talk about size. My app here says the baby is 19.13 inches and 6.3 pounds. And I'm definitely feeling that, as I have had a lot of soreness symptoms that I'll be sharing with you today. But he is definitely getting big, and I can't believe that we have a month until he's here, like less than a month until he's here. So symptoms that I've experienced this week. Like I said, I'm just getting a little bit more sore. First off, it's just a little bit more uncomfortable to sleep, and it's been a little bit more difficult. I have been sleeping in our guest room almost my entire pregnancy, and at first it was mostly due to having extreme congestion and allergies from pregnancy, and like just runny nose congestion the whole time, as I have like my box of tissues here. And so I was sleeping in our other room just because I didn't sleep well because of that. I actually recently went back to our master bedroom in like last week because my congestion has subsided a bit, which I'm grateful for. But I slept there for like a week, and now I'm just more uncomfortable and I have insomnia, which I'll talk about. And so I've moved back to our other room just because I don't want to disturb my husband. He doesn't care at all, but I feel like for me, I'm able to rest easier knowing that I'm not like bothering someone else or like waking him up. So I have just been uncomfortable sleeping. It's everything from like my belly is sore to my back is sore. Like this morning as I'm filming this video, I woke up at 4:30 and my back and my belly were just so sore. And I even have a pregnancy pillow that I've been using, but it was just so uncomfortable. And then I've just been up since 4:30 this morning, which has been lovely. So definitely another symptom that I've experienced is the insomnia. I just can't sleep very well. I'm able to like fall asleep, but I wake up really early. I don't get like that much sleep. So I definitely am trying to take more naps throughout the day if I can. Obviously, by the timeline of this video, I'm giving birth in the middle of a pandemic. So I have actually been working from home for the last, I just finished my 6th week working from home. And while there's definitely no silver lining to the pandemic and everything that's going on, the one thing I guess, the trash man is here. I don't know if you can hear all of that. But the one thing that I am grateful for is the fact that I'm able to like work from home first off, and then also just be at home during this last stretch of pregnancy, especially these last like 4 weeks that I'm about to head into. Being able to move like from my desk to the couch and put my feet up for a bit, as well as like, I guess I could really take like a middle of the day nap if I needed to. I haven't yet, but I could totally just say I'm going to lunch and just go take a nap for a little bit. So that is like the little bit of highlight that all of this has caused. But anyway, that being said, I just don't sleep very well. Next is restless legs, which also kind of goes into the sleep thing. This morning, it was like my belly was sore, my back was sore, and my legs were just sore. Like it feels like kind of like growing pains in my legs and just more of like a restless leg kind of thing. So that's another fun thing that I'm experiencing now, as well as swollen feet. Oh my gosh, I haven't experienced that until like this week. I had it once where I like got up from working at my desk all day and I looked down at my ankles and they were huge. Okay, they weren't like that big, but I was like, oh my gosh, I have total cankles. So I'm trying to just like put my feet up more if I have the opportunity. So I'm trying to avoid the whole swollen feet thing, but that's definitely something that I'm now experiencing, and I haven't experienced it up until like this week. Also, a really embarrassing thing that happened to me this week. I like basically completely peed my pants. I was literally all of a sudden just like, oh, I have to pee, like all of a sudden. And then I like go into the bathroom, and before I can like actually sit down, I like peed like a sizable amount. So that was fun. All right, besides these lovely symptoms, let's talk about some baby prep. So now that I am at 36 weeks, I will start going to the doctor every week, which is crazy that we're now at this point. Obviously not like the best timing to have to go to the doctor every week, but my doctor's office is at like a clinic that's not at the hospital or anything like that, so I just feel a little bit better with that going on. I also noticed that baby is, I don't know if he's like, I think that he may be kind of sideways. I don't know. He's like, I feel him up at the top here and then down on the other side. So I don't feel like he's exactly like head, like where he should be. I know that he is head down though, because I can feel like him hiccup down there, but he's just a little like sideways. So I don't know if he'll like get into placement before this is all said and done. So I'll definitely be interested to see. I do have one last ultrasound to check in on his placement and everything. So fingers crossed that he'll get into the right place for birth. I've also officially ordered like all of the final things that I need off of my registry, use my completion coupon to be able to get like the final things. I will say there's like a couple more things that I'm going to need, but we'll get those here soon. So another thing that we're starting to do is sanitize some of his bottles and things. I did buy one of those like sanitizing machines. I know there's a lot of different options out there, but I just felt like that would be like the easiest thing for us personally. So I've started that and starting like to clean all of his things, as well as finish a lot of the laundry of clothes that he has, which is really exciting. We also have our hospital bags pretty much packed. I have a couple more things that I just need to like write everything down on a list to be able to have as like my do not forget this when you have to go to the hospital list, because there are some things that we just can't pack yet. So I need to make my full list there. I will be sharing a video of what's in my hospital bag, so definitely stay tuned for that. Also, I want to mention that I actually called my hospital this week to ask about their guidelines and restrictions that they have in place right now. So I'm on some of those like boards of other people who are having babies around the same time, and so it's obviously been a hot topic of conversation of what it's going to look like giving birth during this pandemic, and a lot of people are sharing different restrictions that their hospital has. So I gave mine a call, and as of right now, it sounds like my hospital specifically, I will be tested for the virus once I show up at the hospital. Jacob will not be, he will just be screened for it, but I will officially be tested. And then if I don't have it, and also if Jacob isn't showing symptoms, then we actually don't have to wear masks while we're in our room for labor and delivery, which is a huge relief to me. I was so like freaked out about just like, I don't know, that's just really restrictive of having to wear a mask while you're pushing, and I can't imagine trying to like push and do all these things with wearing a mask. So that was a huge relief, and I'm just like praying that I stay healthy and that I won't, you know, get the virus. So obviously my husband is still the only one who can be there with us at the hospital, and he'll be my like support person and like only visitor or whatever. We don't get to have any other visitors, and he also can't like really leave in between. They said that he can, but it's not encouraged, so I don't think that he's planning to leave for any reason, so that'll be fine. I was also asking about how he's supposed to eat, because I know a lot of times like dads will just have to go to the cafeteria or like leave the hospital, go somewhere else to go get food, like bring it back, and obviously we can't do either of those things. So they told me that they are going to be providing food for all the dads in the hospital as well, so I will get food from the hospital and so will Jacob. So that was also reassuring to know that like Jacob's gonna eat, like we'll be okay. And I've heard of other hospitals trying to encourage people to leave at like 12 hours after birth or something, and this is just what I've read in some of these boards. But I asked my hospital and they said, no, they're not like forcing people to like have an early discharge. It's just like still the standard, like 24 hours after birth. So that was also helpful because I was previously worried that I wouldn't get like the necessary care that I needed. And especially just being a first time mom, like trying to figure everything out. Like I wanted to make sure that like I knew what I was doing before I was just like thrown out of the hospital. So that was also a little bit helpful. So I definitely felt more like relieved after calling the hospital to ask about their restrictions. And we'll see what it looks like in a month. But I anticipate that it'll probably still be like the same. The other really fun thing that we did this week is maternity photos. And this is one of those things, you guys, that everything during my third trimester, like this is supposed to be the time when you're doing all the fun things, like having the baby showers, going on the baby moon, maternity photos, like just all the things is when you do this. And my entire third trimester is going to be in quarantine. So we didn't get to have the baby showers, like do those things, which I was sad about then. And now look, like obviously it's still a huge bummer that we didn't get to do that. And it's totally valid to be upset that you don't get to like enjoy those moments. I mean, I definitely am as like a first time mom when you're supposed to do those things. But now looking at it of like, I just like my biggest thing that I want now is to just have a healthy baby, and it would be fantastic if my family gets to meet him like soon after he's born. That's my biggest ask right now. So that being said, I can definitely be more of like a Debbie Downer a lot of times, I'm not gonna lie. And with everything happening, and it happened so quickly that everything was canceled, it was like I was just really upset that all of these things were canceled. I had 3 baby showers scheduled and all of them done. And sometimes I can fall into the tendencies if like, well, if I can't do X, Y, and Z, then I might as well not do anything because like, woe is me. So I definitely know that I can fall into that tendency sometimes, but realizing that like, no, there are still things that I can try and do to remember and enjoy the season, even though it's been really rough. So one of those things that we did was take our own maternity photos. So I put on a dress, and I never got a maternity dress just because I like wasn't showing enough to need one, and I also didn't have to go to any baby showers or do anything. My outfit has been a maternity shirt and maternity leggings every day because I've been working at home. So I put on a dress that I had in my closet that fit the bump, even though it was not maternity. And we also set up the camera tripod. I used the camera that I'm filming on now, which is the Canon M50, and learned like a YouTube tutorial of like how to take good pictures with it. And Jacob sat there and he used the camera and he like took photos, and we even did self-timer and took a few together. And so we took them all at our home. And while it was totally not what I expected, and I would have probably preferred to have like actual maternity photos taken and to be able to like wear the cute maternity dress and do all the stuff, this was still a great like option of things that we got to do. So I am grateful that we did it. And for a long time I was really against doing it just because I was just acting like woe is me. So I'm glad that I just like sucked it up and did it. We took a few photos. They turned out pretty good. So I'm pleased with it. And this will for sure be something that we're going to remember for forever. Besides that, we're getting final things done with his nursery, like trying to figure out where we need to put the baby camera. That was one of the things that we bought with our completion coupon. So we're trying to like figure out where to mount that. And just a couple other things, but we are like winding down and getting to the finish line, which is crazy. So now for a look at the bump shot. So here's a look at my bump here at 36 weeks. My belly button never popped, and like I've shared before, I didn't think it would, so. So thanks to you guys so much for hanging out for this 36-week pregnancy update. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.
Did you ever stop and think